All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Suzanne Lohr. I am the National Educator with Say Palette and Alico Organic Skincare. Thank you so much for joining our webinar this afternoon for Retail Sales Tips and Verbiage, the hows and whys of completing your guest's experience. We are going to talk today about the basics of customer service. We're trying to understand exactly why retail is so necessary in our customer service experience. We need to identify our customers so that we can communicate with them more effectively. I've got some good tips for sales verbiage if you're a little uncomfortable, some helpful tips to increase your sales and increase your face time with your clientele, and what exactly your role as the esthetician is in the sales aspect of our treatment. So beginning with a little description of customer service, the best thing that we can do for our customers, our guests that are in our treatment room, is to treat others the way that we want them to treat us. That's the golden rule of the whole world. Everybody's very familiar with that. So we want to treat our clientele the way that we would want to be treated in their position. Now, when I say take the golden rule to the next level, what I really want you to do isn't necessarily to treat your customers the way that you want to be treated. I want you to treat your customers the way that they want to be treated. How do you find out what they want from you? How do you find out how they need to be treated that day? It's all about communication. Communicate with your customers, listen to their concerns, speak with them and explain how you're going to address their needs that day, and then of course give them an amazing treatment based on their concerns and their needs. Communication with your guest is key. We need to identify your guest. What is it exactly that they're hoping to achieve with their visit with you today? What currently are they doing at home? What's important to them? Do they care more about price? Do they care more about ingredients? Do they care more about results? You've got to communicate with your customer to find out what they need from you so that you can deliver exactly what they expect. So again, communication is key. Several years ago, Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages, came out, and it's a fantastic way of thinking about communication in someone else's perspective. Learning how other people communicate and understand ideas is a phenomenal way for you to be able to speak their quote-unquote language. So learn what's important to your customer and learn to communicate to them in a way that they will understand. In order to do that, we need to establish a relationship and build a trust with our guest. Speaking in their language helps us to relate to them, helps us to build that trust. And once we can identify the categories in which our clientele may fit, it will help you to understand the reasons that they buy so that you can be more successful at closing sales. What do I mean by that? What are client categories? You have your browser. This is the customer that just comes in and she wants to peek around the retail boutique. She's just looking. She may have limited eye contact and she may keep to herself. What she's really motivated by is needs. She identifies really well with clean, easy-to-find displays. She likes a lot of signage to explain to her what's going on with the products that she's looking at, and they do tend to be product loyal. You'll also have your trendy customer, the fashionista. She always wants to know what's new. She's motivated by current trends, media mentions. She tends to impulse buy. This clientele can be a blessing and a curse because she can come in and she will say, I just read an article about blank, hyaluronic acid, for instance. I have to have hyaluronic acid. Now, whether or not it is ideal for her skin condition is up to us as the professionals. So just because a current trend is happening and it's in the media everywhere doesn't necessarily mean that it's ideal for this guest. So we do need to be able to identify not only what motivates her, but whether or not it is appropriate for her. We have our bookworm. This is our customer that reads the labeling. She wants to know anything and everything about the ingredients and the benefits. She's very motivated by information. Your POP, your point of purchase, and your advertising are extremely critical to get this client interested. You've got to make sure that you know the ingredients and the benefits so that you can communicate effectively to this customer what she's going to get and what types of results she can expect from the products that you're discussing. Generally, they do tend to be brand loyal, and a lot of that is because the ingredients are already somewhat familiar to them. It's just a matter of explaining the newest and the latest and greatest and what may be ideal for their skin type. Another customer category that we run into is what we call the talker. This is one of my favorite types of customers because they come in and they're happy-go-lucky, they're friendly, they want to chit-chat. They're motivated by a relationship that they build with you and the emotions that they feel when they are connecting with you. They really like testers. They love a lot of samples. They tend to be more of an impulse buyer because, like I said, you make that immediate relationship connection with them and you bond with them, and they really are excited to purchase whatever it is that you're discussing with them. So the talker is, she can be a lot of fun. Now, sales verbiage. Going back to that speaking in your guest's language, it's easiest if you can begin your sale in the treatment room. If this is a guest that has come into your treatment room for a facial and not just walking into the retail boutique to browse, learning what motivates your guest prior to your treatment in the treatment room is crucial to understanding how you can educate them during the treatment. Don't just explain to them what you're doing and what products you use. That's not doing them any good. What you want to do is educate them. You want to tell them why you're using particular products. You can explain to them why you've done certain things in a particular order in the facial room. A great way to begin the idea of the retail sale is to say to them, at home, you're going to use this cleanser both morning and night. At home, you're going to use this serum every morning. I want you to use this particular moisturizer in the evening and this one during the day, and then explain to them why. You're not telling them, if you choose to purchase this product, which I am definitely recommending to you, this is how I'm going to want you to use it. You say, at home, you will use this. You are the expert, and they have come to you for your expertise. You're going to assume that they want to take home the at-home care that you're going to recommend. So you're telling them during the treatment, this is how you're going to use it. There's no question in your mind of whether or not they're going to take it home with them. Talk to them about what they're currently using at home. What types of products do they have? How many steps are they using? What do they like and dislike about what they're currently using? Some people may be very, very happy with what they have, but maybe they're just missing an eye cream. So that can be a way to gear that conversation toward, well, I know you're really happy with your cleanser and your moisturizer, but this is the eye cream that I recommend for you, and this is why. You definitely want to refer to the other clients' great results. Let them know, oh, I just saw Sally yesterday, and her skin looks amazing. She has been using my hyaluronic time erase complex for the last 3 weeks, and I have really noticed a difference in her skin. You give them the customer satisfaction from other guests, and it makes them more motivated to want to purchase the product and bring it home too. Another thing that you want to refer to them is their own great results. During your facial, wow, your skin is loving this moisturizer. This is definitely what you needed today. And you can always let them know, and this is available in a retail boutique for your at-home care. What do I mean by knowledge? Knowledge, understanding your guest needs. It's extremely important. You have to understand why they came to see you and what they're lacking and how you can fill that need. Understanding the products that you carry is crucial. You have to understand your product ingredients, know what they do, why they're used, and you want to sell based on the products that you currently have in stock. The last thing you want to do is really, really talk up a particular serum and then get out to the retail boutique and find out you're sold out of it. You have just spent so much time convincing this person that this is the absolute best thing possible for them, and now you don't have it to let them go home. They're going to be disappointed. So you want to be sure that you have an awareness of what is currently available in your retail boutique and sell based on what is currently available. Not being able to explain to them how and why the products will use will guarantee you're not going to get that sale. You have got to be able to tell them particular ingredients, what the ingredients are for, without using really long scientific definitions. Use layman's terms, if that's what their language is, so that they can understand the hows and the whys of what you're recommending. You told me that You have some dark circles under your eyes, and you're seeing some beginnings of some fine lines. I'm going to recommend to you my Hyaluronic Time Erase Complex Eye Cream. This is really going to help to plump and fill those fine lines that you're beginning to have by infusing your skin with hyaluronic acid to retain your moisture levels. It also contains ginkgo, which is very stimulating for our circulation, which is going to help to keep that blood from pooling. This is the kind of information that you and your estheticians and even your front desk need to be certain that you understand to be able to sell the particular products that you're recommending for your guest. You can know in your brain and in your heart that it's the ideal product for this person's particular conditions. But until you can communicate that effectively to them in a way that they will understand, they're not going to want to take it home with them. Downsell, that really does sound kind of like the opposite of what we're supposed to do. But this is what I mean by downsell. If you're going to recommend products to a guest, start with the entire regimen. I'm going to recommend to you this particular group of, in the instance that I have here is my Hyaluronic Time Erase Complex. I want you using the eye cream, the mask, the moisturizer, and the serum. Now your customer may look at you and say, wow, that is just not going to happen today. Financially, I can't do it. Or, I already have an eye cream that I'm really happy with, or whatever. They may want to argue a point of why they're not going to take the entire grouping home. That's when you downsell and you say, I really recommend the whole product line for you, but I understand that you're already happy with such and such and such and such. Therefore, my recommendations are for you to definitely take the serum and the eye cream today. These are the two essential things, and this is why. You want to downsell each time you get up to the register. I always tell my staff when I'm speaking, if you recommend 5 products to your guest, you've got the option of one of 3 things happening. 1, they're going to take all 5. That would be phenomenal. 2, they could take just a couple of the items, and that's fantastic too. Or the third option is that they're going to take nothing. And that's okay too, at least you've tried. If you recommend 2 products, they might buy 2 or they might buy 0. If you recommend 0, they're going to buy 0. So start big. This is the entire regimen that I would really like for you to follow. And then downsell it to the couple of pieces that they for sure will see the best results with that will fit into their current regimen beautifully. That's what I mean by downselling. Now, why in the world would you not try to retail to your customer? These are some excuses that I've heard over time. They may say no. Well, so what? Your job is to recommend products for that client to be able to take home and complete the fabulous work that you have started in that treatment room. You can't take it personally if they say no. You don't know what type of budget they're on right now. You don't know the products that they currently have at home that they're trying to work their way through. You can't take it personally. You're just doing your job. I like to compare it to someone declining a dessert at a fabulous restaurant. When you're at a nice restaurant with a group of friends and the waiter comes and says, does anyone want to look at the dessert menu? That's never offensive. It's never pushy, and he does not take it personally if you say no. You are just trying to make sure that your customers, your guests, achieve the ultimate experience while they are in your care. And in order for you to give them the ultimate experience, you have to include the at-home care. If they say no, they say no. It's not a personal affront to you. Another time I've heard people say, well, they might get mad at me for trying to sell them something. Why? Why in the world would they get mad? You're only trying to help them, and they're the ones that came to you in the first place. Your guest came to you seeking particular advice or seeking a particular experience. And by you selling them and telling them about the at-home retail care, you're completing that service by allowing them to take home with them these amazing products. If they get mad, something's wrong with the relationship that you have built with them. Not so much that you're being pushy, but something's just not quite solid about that relationship. So maybe we want to reevaluate that. Another comment that I've heard from estheticians is that they might suggest the wrong thing. Well, this is a personal confidence issue. Are you as an esthetician confident in your skills? Do you know and understand your products? Are you using products during your treatments? And how do you know during the treatment what products you're supposed to be using if you're that unsure? Be confident that you are the expert. You have the licensure that verifies that you know what you're doing. You went to school for this. You're the pro. Be confident in yourself and confident in your skills. If you're not comfortable with your product knowledge, then you need to go back and do a little research and understand your product some more. If it's the Alika products that you're having concerns with, I'm always available for you. So don't worry about not being able to get answers. You can always call us here at the office and we will help you out. I'm not good at sales. I hear that a lot from estheticians. I'm just not a pushy salesperson. Well, good. I don't want you to be a pushy salesperson. I want you to be a professional that is educating your guest on what they need to do at home for their skincare. The at-home care recommendations that you are giving to your customer, that's a part of your job. It is the completion of the treatment to be able to tell your guest how to take care of their skin at home. If you're ignoring that at-home care, you're really doing a disservice for your guest. You need to be confident in your own abilities as a professional and share your knowledge with your guest. That's all. It's not selling, it's educating. You are the expert. That is why this particular customer came to see you in the first place. Like I already said, you have a license that verifies that you have studied and understood the knowledge to make you a skincare therapist. You're the pro. Be confident in that. In order to give them the entire treatment experience, it's not just a facial. It's not just your fabulous facial that is included in their treatment experience, but it is the at-home care that tells them, you've got this gorgeous glow to your skin right now. I'm going to tell you how to get that glow tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I want you to be happy with your skin. We're going to start your skincare here at point A, and the next time that you come see me, we're going to be at point B, and we're going to be able to address other concerns because you are going to listen to what I have to say, and you're going to take home these amazing products that are going to really assist in getting your skin where you want it to be. Your prescription tells them how to address their concerns at home. The at-home care recommendation is the final touch in 5-star customer service. You can't force them to take the skincare home, but you do have to educate them and let them know why you're recommending it, what they're going to see from it, and how to use it. As the professional expert, you're to give your guests the knowledge and the tools to properly care for their skin. Your role is to make recommendations to assist them in their skincare. What your role is not, you're not there to control their purse strings. You don't know the income that this particular customer has. You don't know the dollars that they have set aside specifically for their own skincare. So don't try to spend their money for them. I've had a lot of people say, well, I feel really bad telling them that they need to buy product when they've just spent $100 on a facial with me. Why? They've just spent $100 on a facial. They've made a great investment in their skin. And by not recommending home care, you're not allowing them to continue that beautiful look at home. That health and the nourishment that their skin needs, you're taking that opportunity away from them by not recommending. Again, you have no idea if they brought with them a budget of $600, $800, $1,000 for their skincare, or maybe they just brought with them the budget of $100. That's not your concern. Your concern is to let them know what they need to do to take care of their skin at home. It's up to them to decide whether or not they want to spend the money on it. Some really helpful tips to help you in the retail boutique. When your book is not full, you're in the retail boutique. You're not sitting in your treatment room or in the break room on your phone. You're not flipping through a magazine, or you're not running down the street to get a soda. You're in the retail boutique. There are many ways to get yourself booked and to sell retail products simply by being there. If a guest comes in for another service, you can always offer to them a mini facial or a hand massage. If someone comes in, for instance, for a pedicure, you can always say, I just had a customer that had to cancel their appointment and I am already set up for a facial. If you'd like a facial after your pedicure, I would be more than happy to give you 20% off or whatever it may be. Offer them the opportunity to experience a service with you. They may take it, they may not take it, you don't know. But the ones that do take it are really helping you out. And guess what? You're helping them out too. Another thing that you can do is just offer a skin analysis to a guest if they're in for another service. If you happen to work in a hair salon / spa, then a customer that's coming in for a haircut or a hair color, you can always offer a skin analysis to them during their service or after their service. They may want some skincare, they may not want some skincare, but it introduces your expertise to them and allows them the opportunity to think about another service while they're there. They may not have time today to get a facial, but if they've gotten a skin analysis from you and you've got some recommendations, they may want to come back the next day or the next time they get a haircut, and they may want to come in and get that facial from you. But by not introducing yourself to guests that are in for other services, you're not giving them the opportunity to get to know you. Chat with the guests. Invite them to experience testers. When people are leaving a spa or even just coming into the spa, they don't want to be rushed around. It's a relaxing, beautiful atmosphere. Let them wander around in the retail boutique. If you have testers there for them to enjoy, invite them to enjoy them. You can always say, oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite moisturizers. It smells amazing, and this is also what it does. Let them smell it. Let them touch it. Interact with them. Just because they are not, quote unquote, your guest at that time doesn't mean they can't be eventually, and doesn't mean they don't appreciate being spoken to. Some food for thought. If you've got a guest that's coming in every 4 to 6 weeks to see you, but they're not following your advice at home, you're starting over every time. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean they come in and they get a great facial from you. They feel relaxed. It's heavenly. Their skin is glowing when they leave. But they're not doing the at-home care, either because you didn't recommend it or because they didn't want to take it for whatever reason. You're at point A when they come in for that facial. The next time they come in, they're still going to be at point A. Their skin is not going to change from what you first initially saw when you analyzed their skin because they're not doing anything different at home than they've already been doing. If your guest truly wants to progress in the look and the feel and the health of her skin, she has to follow at-home care. She has to follow your advice as the expert for her at-home care. Otherwise, she could be going down to the drugstore and buying whatever is cheapest, and it may not be the best for her skin. If she's following your advice, the next time she comes in to see you, her skin is going to be different. It's going to be healthier. It's going to be more nourished, and it's going to be closer to where she wants it. For example, it'll be at a point B or even maybe a point C. Then you can begin to address other concerns that she may have or simply stay on the same routine so that she eventually gets the skin that she really, really wants. Liken this to going into a doctor. You say, Doc, I believe that I have a sinus infection. And the doctor looks at you and they say, you sure do. And then they just send you on your merry way home. Well, what in the world good is it for the doctor to tell you something that you already know without offering a solution to it? When you go in, you expect that that doctor is going to give you a prescription or give you some way to take care of the condition that you came in for. Similarly, you are the expert in the scenario of us giving facials. They come in and they have dry skin. They say to you, my skin is so dry. And you say to them, my goodness, it sure is. But then you offer no solution. What good is that to them? By them telling you, my skin is so dry, you as the expert have the obligation to say, it certainly is. This is how I'm going to treat it today, and this is how I want you to treat it at home. And when I see you again in 6 weeks, it's going to be much more hydrated, and we can see what it looks like then. Your at-home care is the same necessity as brushing and flossing your teeth between dental visits. Ideally, we all want to go see the dentist every 6 months. But if we don't brush and floss our teeth at home, what good are we doing by going to the dentist? Similarly, what good is a facial if you come in every 4 to 6 weeks, but you're not following the at-home care advice? Your at-home care which is the retail that we're asking you to present to your customers, is just as necessary as the brushing and flossing between your dental visits. Who benefits from this retail? Well, your guest, your customer, your client. They benefit because they're going to have this beautiful skin care that's really going to address the concerns that they truly have because it was recommended to them by an expert. Your guest is going to have healthier, more beautiful skin that's closer to what they've always wanted because of your at-home recommendations. Now, your employer is going to benefit too. If you're a single esthetician or you own your own spa, that means you. But if you're working in a spa, you're working for someone else, your employer will benefit. The retail portion of the income that comes into a spa is what really pays the bills. You want new or you want new towels or new sheets or say light bulbs in your room. The toner for the register tape. All of that money that is spent on those things to maintain the daily operations of a spa, that money has to come from somewhere. The majority of that money comes from the retail that is sold. So your employer, your spa, will greatly benefit if you're retailing. And lastly, you benefit. If you are an esthetician that works on commission, you're going to get extra money in your paycheck. I don't know about you, but I could definitely do with a little extra money every now and then. If you don't get extra money, so what? You are getting a client that is extremely happy. You're getting a very devoted customer that is going to come back and continue to see you. And you know what else they're going to do? They're going to recommend friends to come and see you because they're so happy with the way that your expertise has assisted in their skin. So educating your guest benefits your guest, your employer, and you. Why in the world would you not try to retail? I want to thank you all so much for your attention today. My contact information is here on this last page here of our webinar. If you ever need anything, please feel free to call me. Email is a little bit easier for me because I do tend to travel a lot. Please do like us on Facebook and be sure to look at our YouTube channel for other great videos and other webinars from the past. And follow our blog. I'm always updating our blog with some new fun ideas that we can use to increase our guests' experience with us. So I'd like to thank you all again for attending today. Thank you for partnering with Elika Organic Skincare. Have a beautiful day.